Charity motorcycle run turned into a confusing cruise this weekend. A Metro nonprofit uses that ride to raise money for Christmas gifts for less fortunate kids.
However, their organizer says police made them feel unwanted.
I gotta barbecue your assy molasses!
Hello and welcome to Road Rush Nation. I'm Terry, your host here, and thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. If you'd like to be a member of the nation, it's free. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. It's that time of year of poker runs and charity runs, and we all love to be part of those things. Well, I've got a little bit of a horror story and a town that all of you need to make sure you never drive through. If you've ever planned out a poker run or a charity run, you know how much work goes into that planning. You've got permits, you've got to get from the city, you have things that you have to deal with law enforcement so they know about traffic, and it's a big deal. And even that business owner within that community may have to do some special things to have the approval for that event at their facility. To get approval for at their place of business. It can be a huge thing, and depending on the size of your event, it can be a lot of bikes. So the event I'm going to share with you today happened here. Michael Bourbon has the Night Train Run, which is a charity he's been doing for like over 25 years. They have done 51 of these charity rides where they gather toys for kids that wouldn't have anything, stuffed animals and so on. And it's not for just the Kansas City area. It's for up in the Dakotas. He goes to the reservations. He goes wherever these kids are needing toys. He's become an icon in the Kansas City biking community on the great charity work he does. City leaders all know him. They think it's great what he does. So the event he was having was the first run for this year, which happened May 20th. Now that same day we were at a different event, which was the Big Ass Poker Run, and you'll see I have a video, I'll have a link at the end of that event on that same day. We did not do the Night Train Run. The Night Train Run started at Gales Power Sports in Kansas City, Missouri, and then one of their stops, which I believe it was the first stop, was to happen in Louisburg. And I apologize, I forget the name of the bar right now, but I know it's Bub's, I believe is the name. I'll correct that and put it in here, but that was going to be the next stop. Now, Louisburg is not a big community. I think it's about 8,000 people, so it's not huge, but it's, a small town. Now, that same weekend, they are having their high school graduation. I just say that so there's a lot going on in this small town. Now there's a chief of police there, and they have about 9 officers. What happened is the bar had gotten the permits, had gotten all the approvals from the city council. The police department knew what was going on, and they even had barricades and places set off by the city gave them barricades to make sure everything was set up. So you figure, okay, the chief of police, his PD, know that all these bikers are coming into town. Well, things didn't go so well.
That's an attention getter.
Well, evidently, you gotta remember, small town. The chief of police, who was not in uniform, not in a march car, comes up and starts getting all, oh, you can't be doing this. You can't have just park anywhere. You can't be doing this. Now, I'm using my tone. And begins to threaten that they are going to tow bikes. They're going to give out citations. And it starts a real kind of confrontation going on there. Now,
what was ultimately the determining factor at play here that shut it down altogether?
We never did shut it down. The choice was made by the event promoters that because of the lack of communication between apparently the city and the promoters.
Well, Chief Weber calls it a big miscommunication. Raleigh thinks it was targeted.
I think it's because of retaliation. They don't want a biker bar. They don't want me here. They want to push me out. And what better way?
Now, there is a video that shows where all the bikes are kind of parking and how people were they were all being respectful. Hey, you know what? Where do you need me to park? That kind of thing. What happened is when the chief approached Mike, it was how the chief put things. You know, you can't park and I'm going to start citing these people, and you're starting to tow bikes and so on. And it escalates from there. Nothing horrid, but it escalates. Now, the city goes, oh, we've got body cam. Not really. You've got body cam from another officer who was not involved in the conversations, and it just shows them standing there. When you see body cam, just remember, if it's not from the person having the interaction, it's far off. You're not really seeing the whole story. Just any situation, there's always three truths. Yours, theirs, and then the truth. So you gotta take the full picture. So anyway, what happened is people said, screw it, because the chief is starting to get, you know, we're gonna have to move, you're gonna start getting citations, you're gonna get this. People said, F it, I'm out.
You see, when I get you back home, I'm gonna find the tallest tree in the country. And then I'm gonna hang you from it.
Sheriff,
I'm listening.
do the letters FO mean anything to you?
Smart aleck.
I want you to hear, I said that everybody went to the next stop. Well, at the next stop was Johnny Dare, a local DJ in Kansas City who's quite popular, huge in the biking community. And I want to play a little clip of what he heard at that second stop.
I saw Bob on Saturday, and we did the night train run.
Bergen's run.
Yeah, it was great. It was a ton of people. Dude, I got so many good stories down. I think Bergen's going to be at work, but something happened in Louisburg on the first stop, and the cop out there apparently freaked out, went chicken-ass, and stopped the ride from coming into Louisburg. Like he was the dude holding up the terrible bikers, by the way, raising money for children for the Hand to Hearts program that's done it for 51 times for 26 years in Kansas City. Mike Bergen's a goddamn saint. So the first bar, not their fault. The cop's like, no, we can't have this. Like stops them and turns, 500 motorcycles.
Whoa. I'm trying to wrap my head around what you're saying to me right now.
Yeah. Well, I only got it because I was waiting on Bob, and we got the Bobs, so we missed the first stop and went to the second, and we caught up with him there at Chili Bob's. And Bergen is lighting this place up on a microphone as I'm walking up. I'm like, I wonder what happened there. Then I start hearing it from people. And apparently they leave Gales. It's a beautiful sunny day. They're raising,
I just say weather was great.
Raising money for children across the metro, the bigger area, all the way up into the Dakotas for kids on reservations, orphanages, anybody who suffered a loss.
Toys for kids who would not get toys.
Yeah, and coats, and it's so much more.
Yeah.
And one cop, by the way, the lady apparently had her permit.
Yeah.
And was ready for everything.
Totally prepared.
And the cops somehow took offense to that many people coming into town at one time, and I guess the town is too rich for its own good, and it doesn't need any money, and it doesn't like dirty bikers, and that cop was, I don't know,
what
pussy.
The hell?
No, apparently he was just a pussy.
Now the city's trying to do damage control because of the bad publicity. They don't want to have we don't want any bikers in here, we don't want, we're all just innocent on there, and of course it's the other people that caused the problem. And you'll see that the news put out the body cam. Well, that body cam, remember how I told you it wasn't from the chief? Yeah, take a quick snippet at it, and they went off on that and said, oh, everybody was polite, not a problem. Well, when you start threatening people with citations, that's not. Now, what's happened since this situation is there is going to be on June 5th down in Louisburg a biker freedom rally, and it started on Facebook where all these people are now going to go down to Louisburg and not do a protest, but you might call it a protest. They're going to keep it civil, is to show support for the bikers that got treated like garbage from the city police. Now, it can go both ways because you know how social media goes. People see things and they kind of exaggerate it. I luckily have seen the comments directly from the people that had the conversations with the chief. And it's not quite what everybody, the Louisburg City Council, and I found out there's some personal drama going on between the bar owner and people in the city government. For whatever reason, you got family dynamics, small town. But what's happened is there's like 2,000 people that have so far, and the number keeps growing, that are going to show up to go down there. There's car clubs, there's different off-road groups that are going to show up. Cagers are supporting the bikers now. The reason I tell you all this is to be very careful when you're planning out a rally, a charity run or poker run, that you have a better understanding and watch your numbers of your bikes coming in. Also, if you are going to go anywhere near this town, Louisburg, and I will put, here's the map of where it's located, I would stay away from it if you're on a bike. And here's why. Because it's a smaller agency, and the chief has already pointed out his bias towards bikers. It's not going to be PD friendly, and it's not going to be just the chief, it's going to be the other officers. It's just normal prejudice. Oh, you're bucking up against us, stay away. I will tell you, in the Kansas City area, each PD has a representative that goes to a regular meeting on bikers, and it's really dealing with the outlaw gangs. But what happens is people see anybody on a bike, it's human nature, see anybody on a bike as being one of those. They don't decipher sometimes, and that prejudice bleeds over into better judgment sometimes. And that's why I say stay away from Louisburg. If you are going to be at the rally to support the night train, I get it, but keep it peaceful, because there's other businesses in that town that are very supportive and are upset about what's going on, and there's just a lot of dynamics happening. So be safe, be smart. But when you come across a poker run or a charity run and you start seeing too many bikes in a different situation, think about what you're doing as a participant that could make things worse for the organizers and the event as a whole. Now, getting back to Mike and the night train, if you would like to donate, I've got a link down below so that you can help out, because they missed out on a lot of good that they could have done. They are going to have drop-offs at the rally. If you want to go to that rally and you're in the Kansas City area, I will have a link to the Facebook group so that you can check it out. But please help them out, because they're helping out the kids. And they're in those areas that we ride to, that we're all, we want to do good. That's the biker community, we do good. So hopefully you'll put Louisburg on those places to ride around and don't go through for a while, because until things calm down. And if you're coming up, going to Sturgis and you're going to go through the Kansas City area, you want to make sure you avoid it. Hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully you'll be able to support Mike and the night train. I appreciate it so much for you stopping by and watching the channel. If you like what you saw, please give us a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you want to be a member of the nation, it's free. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button. So until next time, ride safe, and I hope to catch you on the highways.